Well, live stream again. I don't believe anyone's watching at this current moment, so I'm not going to bother with the whole sitting here introducing the stream nonsense. Let's just play the game instead. About that. So Genshin Impact. You know, this is not the most ideal way for me to have my webcam set up, now I think about it. Whatever, it'll do for now. I can fix it some other time if I really want to. What am I doing? There's a fucking Oculus somewhere. Where? Where is it? I don't see it. I can see it on the map though. Oh, is it inside the clam? Yes, it was. Okay, well, it is mine now. Now I need to go give it back to the statue. Because otherwise, that would be very annoying, given that I'm right next to the bloody statue. Oh, fuck me. That was enough to level it. I guess I had other ones that I forgot to give in. Well, I will take that as a win. What do I get from that again? Oh, you know, I do another Hydro Traveler constellation. How delightful. My Traveler isn't even Hydro anymore. Because I swapped off of that, like, instantly, because fuck that. Although, speaking of Traveler, we're going to be doing the story quest today. We do want to play as Traveler. Because that is what I do. I'm going to deactivate that side quest. And then I'm going to activate the story quest. Do it yesterday. We're going to the Adventurers Guild. Oh my god. How many fucking quests in this game? Just start with, oh, so you're at the Adventurers Guild, and then coincidentally, this is happening. I swear, this always happens.
Hey Catherine, it's us. Got any new commissions? Specifically one with a huge more attack, perhaps?
The more lucrative, the better. True.
You know we're worth it. For quality work and speedy results, choose Paimon and the Traveler.
It's always a pleasure to see
Hello,
our two
robots.
most avid adventurers again. Looking for the next challenge, I see. Actually, we do in fact have a rather urgent commission that is still open. Having read the details, however, I don't believe you'd consider it to be lucrative.
Don't worry about that. We were just kidding. So what's the situation?
No money, what the fuck?
To put it simply, the requester is looking for a temporary replacement actress for their musical. The original cast member ran into some issues, and is currently
I
unable
wonder
to
if
perform the role.
Furina is making the musical.
But the troupe has also been experiencing some financial difficulties, so unfortunately they cannot afford to pay the replacement actress.
Fair enough.
That does sound like a tricky situation. So basically they're looking for a volunteer?
That's right. Our adventurers reached out to many actresses, but none of them were willing to take the job. There are only a few days left until the performance. If they can't find someone in time, they'll probably have to postpone the show. And delays tend to create all sorts of new problems.
Yeah.
Got it. Oh, this one's a doozy. What do you think, Traveler? Any ideas? Even if we took the commission, neither of us have any
Oh, so
experience
okay, no,
starring in
we're not.
musicals.
Wait, are we gonna get Furina to do it? Is that what's gonna happen?
If you're interested in helping, why not start
The
by having a
requester is
chat
that
with the
guy. Okay, yeah.
requester?
So
He's right over there.
if the requester isn't Furina, it means that we're gonna make Furina do it.
Maybe you can't fill the role yourselves, but you might be able to help him figure out another solution. Maybe there's something he hasn't thought of.
Oh, it's that guy, huh? No wonder. He looks like he just ate a sour lemon.
Oh my god, Paimon. Ate a sour lemon. I mean, He's an NPC in this game. They all look the same.
Paimon approved. Hello there. Are you the guy looking for a new actress?
Wait, I know you two. Are you really willing to act in my musical?
Immediately jumps to that.
Wow, sounds like we're pretty famous in Fontaine already. But to answer your question, neither of us have any experience in musicals. But
Yeah.
we heard that you're in a bit of a bind, so we figured we could at least try to help you think of a solution.
True.
I see. It's okay. I knew that asking for a volunteer was a long shot. If we can't find someone to step in, we'll have no choice but to cancel the show. It would be such a shame.
Can you not cover the budget of ticket fees?
That's the thing. We're not some
Ah.
high-profile theater troupe, just a group of amateur enthusiasts. All our sets and props are very crude. We're grateful enough just to get an audience, never mind
I
ticket
see.
fees. If we had a way to make this profitable, things might have turned out differently. But now, it looks inevitable that we'll disband.
Disband? You're splitting up the troupe?
Oh, I guess the lady at the Adventurers Guild didn't tell you?
Oh,
This is supposed to be our final show together as a troupe.
that's
One
sad.
last show. And after that, we go our separate ways. So we were really hoping to end on a high note. Nobody wants things to just fizzle out. Not after
One of
all
your
the time and
actresses
effort
can't
we've
make
invested
it.
into it. Yeah, the leading lady, in fact.
Right.
She's been dealing with a chronic illness ever since childhood, and unfortunately, it flared up again recently. It really drains all her energy, so she's in no state to perform. The show just won't be the same without her. But for everyone else's sake, I still hope we can find a way to hold the performance on schedule.
Got it. We have a clearer picture now. Let's see if we can come up with any ideas. What if we sponsor the show?
Oh my god.
What are you carrying?
I mean, I can afford
Please,
that.
there's no
In
need to go that
game, not in
far.
real life.
I wouldn't feel right asking such a huge favor. And I can't promise that we'd ever be able to pay you back.
How do we find someone who's a good fit for the role?
Good point. If the actress just goes through the motions for the Mora, that's not exactly rescuing the show. We should find someone who will put on the best performance possible.
Yeah.
Oh, wait! What about... you know who?
Yeah.
That's how you know we're the best of partners. Anyway, she should have all the free time in the world right now. She's really good at performing, and she was once super popular with the crowd. Performing in a musical should be a piece of cake for her.
Who are you thinking of? Sounds like someone famous.
Wait, Furina.
Her? You're... That was a joke, right?
Nope. Paimon doesn't actually know if she's performed on stage before, but Paimon's pretty confident that she'd be really good at it.
Yeah.
You're not wrong there. She has actually performed
Oh.
in a number of big-name shows before. They were one of the reasons she was so popular.
Interesting.
But even if she's no longer the Hydro Archon, it's not like she's suddenly a commoner. She's still an idol to many people in Fontaine, including myself. I just think Lady Furina might feel a bit out of place in an amateur
Yeah,
troupe
but
like
don't you want
ours.
the show to go ahead?
Well, yes, but... Fair enough. I mean, if she was actually willing to...
There
then
we
of
go,
course
that's
I'd
the
be honored
spirit.
to have Lady Furina star in our show.
And of course
I'm
it will
sure the
happen
rest of
because
the troupe
video
would be
game.
delighted too.
They're not gonna like bring it up as an idea and then just have it not
I'm
happen.
sure everyone in our troupe has probably dreamt of performing on stage with her one day. Of course, it all depends on whether she's interested. She might consider this opportunity beneath her.
No point in stressing about that. We'll only know if we ask her.
True.
And besides, things are different now. There's no reason for her to be all high and mighty anymore.
Also true.
Thank you for your help. I guess I'll just stay here and wait for the good news. Good luck.
Wait, where does Furina actually live nowadays?
That's a
She
good
used to live in
question.
luxury at the Palais Mermonia, but she's moved out, right?
As it happens, I have her current address.
Okay,
here.
yeah, Catherine,
provide it to
just
you.
stalker mode activate.
Ooh, when did you get here?
I came over when things were starting to sound more promising. I thought I should be at the ready in case my assistance is needed. It is my duty to support commissioners in any way I can.
And that includes stalking.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Well, now that we've got the address, we'll go find Furina. Back in a jiffy.
The Little Oceanid. I wonder if that's like the name of the performance or something. Oh, does Furina live here? In this little house. Interesting. That door is giant, what the hell?
Did Catherine really give us the right
Look
address?
at how tall that door is,
Lives
like... I
here?
know the Traveler's kind of on the short side, but like...
Not
Even if
that
I was to
there's
swap to a
anything
tall
wrong with
character
this
right now, the
place,
door would
it's
still be
just,
like close to twice the height.
a bit of a step down from the Palais Marmonia.
You know, it's common courtesy to make sure the homeowner isn't an earshot when you're penetrating
Damn.
the road.
Okay, when did popping out of thin air become all the rage? First Catherine and now you?
I was just out on a shopping trip. I ran out of macaroni, so I went to
Macaroni.
grab a few more bags. I used to have a much wider range of choices when it came to food, but now I'm finding that simple, traditional home cooking can be quite delicious too.
Don't you get sick of macaroni every day?
Not at all. As long as you have different kinds of sauces in, you can have macaroni and tomato sauce one week, macaroni and bolognese the next.
Oh,
A lot of
sounds like you're really
macaroni.
struggling to cope.
Cope. Oh my god, Paimon said the word. Have to do all your own
How
cooking.
rude! Questioning my cooking skills. The audacity! It's not like I have a very eventful life these days. Actually, I barely leave the house. So I don't see how it's unusual that my meals are a little simpler now too.
I can relate. My meals are fucking simple as well. I cannot cook.
Besides,
And
I'm
I also
sure
don't leave the
I
house
could
very
master
much.
dishes like the lettre focilor or blubber profiteroles in no time, if I felt so inclined.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, there it is. You don't know how to cook.
Not yet, maybe, but... Anyway, what are you even doing here? I do hope you didn't come here just to ogle at my fall from grace. Let me first be clear that I'm not taking guests at this time. So if you're just here to clown around, then please be on your way.
Of course.
Shoot!
Sorry! We're sorry! Please don't be mad!
Yeah, Paimon was just showing concern.
Yeah, exactly! What the Traveler said! Paimon wasn't trying to make fun of you. Hang on a sec, you weren't exactly holding back either!
Came to ask for your help, bro.
My help? Well, maybe you're forgetting that I'm no longer the mighty Hydro Archon. I don't even have a vision, you know.
Don't worry, it's nothing that serious.
So she still doesn't have a vision, so this quest is definitely where she gets it.
Power to help.
Mm-hmm. If it's not you, then it's no one.
Oh? Well, if that's the case, then fine. I'll spare you the lecture about your attitude just now. So tell me, what specifically makes this matter so specific?
Mm-hmm. The troop.
I see. I knew you couldn't have come all this way just to amuse yourselves at my
I
expense.
can never get my chair at the right height. Annoying
After
me.
all, I was once the brightest star in all of Fontaine, well versed in all the various performing arts. A mere musical is well within my capabilities. But given the
Oh.
present circumstances, I'm afraid I must regretfully decline your casting request.
Why is that?
It sounds like this would be a breeze for you.
True, but I have made a decision to retire from the stage.
Oh.
Although I am no longer required to play the role of the Hydro Archon, the time I spent inhabiting that character has left an indelible mark on me. Centuries of pretending to be
Yeah,
a different
I mean,
person changes you completely.
That makes a
I'm
lot of
not
sense.
the same person I once was. Of course, that can't be undone now. It's too late, and I have no intention of reinventing myself all over again. But at least I can say that I no longer desire to play any new roles.
Mm-hmm.
Paimon can understand.
That is fair.
But this is just a one-off part to fill in for someone who's sick. Surely that's okay.
Whether it's a one-off or not, it's a boundary that I've committed to.
Setting
no longer
boundaries is
cross.
good.
If I make an exception to the rule now, I'm just leaving a back door for myself, which would be the same as not having a boundary in the first place. So I'm not going to perform, and that is that.
Okay, guess there's no convincing you. Well, is there anything else we can do to help out the troupe? Otherwise, they'll just have to disband without any
Ah,
fanfare.
the lights all just suddenly turned on at the same time.
Do you know any other actors who might be interested in the role?
Nope.
Short and to the point, okay.
I've never been great at maintaining relationships. Besides, anyone I've
Damn.
ever worked with probably couldn't wait to get rid of me. Since I'm just an ordinary person now, they'll probably just laugh in my face if I go asking them for help.
Don't assume the worst of
True,
people.
but I mean, could you even blame them? I show up out of the blue, begging and groveling for their help with a show they won't even get paid for? Ooh, no way. I'm dying from embarrassment just thinking about it. Nope, not happening.
Fair enough.
Well, is there anything else we can do? This performance really means a lot to the guy we're working for.
Have I not made myself clear? You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't want this job, nor do I know of anyone else who would. Sorry. I didn't mean for that to sound so harsh. I wish I could help, really. But if I thought I had the answer to this problem, I would have said so by now.
Understandable.
It's alright, Furina. Paimon just wanted to make sure we tried everything. Oh, everyone in the troupe will be so disappointed.
Plan B.
Yeah, I guess that's all we can do now. Alright then, we'll see you around, Furina!
Toodaloo to you, too. I'm going home to take a rest now.
Okay. Yes, the Furina story quest. That is all she does in it. Totally. She definitely won't just, like, come back later like I've changed my mind or anything. Definitely not. Definitely
It's
not.
too bad, but we have to respect Furina's decision. Maybe the thought of performing brings up too many painful memories now.
Exactly. But none of them believed me.
Oh, who is that? There's another person there now.
I'll think about it.
Huh? What's going on? Are they arguing?
Hmm?
That's besides the point. I'll ask you again. Why did you
Oh.
start looking for a replacement without my consent? When did I tell you I'm going to take a step back?
Is that the actor that was supposedly sick?
You didn't need to say it. We've known each other for how long now? We know the signs. But you never tell us about your illness, even when it's clearly
Oh,
flaring up.
there.
And that gives you the right to make a decision on my behalf?
Shortly after you left, the troupe's lead actress came to the Adventurers Guild. She believes that she's healthy enough to perform. Excuse me, but can you both take a moment to discuss something else for now? The adventurer assigned to your commission has returned.
Sorry, I was just dealing with a little misunderstanding. So, how did your conversation with Furina go?
Sadly, it's a no from her. We tried to persuade her, but she wasn't having it. She doesn't want to play the role for personal reasons.
I see. Well, circumstances have changed a little, so maybe that's not such bad news after all. You see, our leading lady has just informed me that she's well enough to make it to the show after all. Staging the musical with the full original cast was always the dream, of course.
Makes sense.
Oh, right! Sounds like everything worked itself out then.
Yeah, imagine if we convinced Furina and they would find out she's not needed.
Yeah, she'd be livid. We'd get the scolding of a lifetime.
Jeez, is Lady Furina really so harsh with people?
Only joking, calm down. So, guess we can consider this case closed now, huh? Despite the fact that we failed failed to complete the commission? We were still racking our brains for ideas on the way back here.
Look, there's no point arguing with you about this anymore. You've made yourself very clear, so I'll stop looking for a replacement. This is the last chance we have, though. If your illness flares up again, there won't be time to find anyone to replace you. So, are you absolutely sure you'll be able to handle it? The whole team is putting everything they have into this final performance. We have to make sure it goes ahead.
Yes, I'm completely confident. I've been
A
taking
new
a new
medicine.
medication from the doctor, and it's working brilliantly. I'll definitely be able to tough it out until the performance day. I share everyone's desire to commemorate all our years as a troupe with a proper farewell show. So the last thing I want is to be left out. Every one of us thinks of this troupe as their home, myself included.
Makes sense.
You're right. I'm sorry.
When does the
I let
NPC
myself get too worried about the show.
information end?
I-
All's well that ends well. Sounds like the show will go on.
Oh?
Sure.
Huh? Oh, Furina's there.
Hey, how did you? I
What's
was just
happening?
passing by because I realized I forgot a couple of items on my shopping list.
You definitely weren't following us.
No need to drag me.
Definitely weren't following us.
Hello, one and all. I couldn't help but overhear your conversation just now.
She was just like hiding behind the Adventurers Guild booth.
Furina? Didn't you say you were gonna take a rest at home? What are you doing here?
I was just ever so slightly concerned about the situation you mentioned. Yes, a teensy bit concerned, that's all. When you came to talk with me earlier, I jumped right to explaining my position and said some strongly worded things. And all before I even had a full grasp of the situation. Anyway, I just feel a bit bad about how it went down. I'm sorry, Paimon.
Oh, it's totally fine. Paimon didn't take any of that personally.
Why didn't you show yourself?
You really have a knack for asking the most uncomfortable questions, don't you?
To be fair, I don't think you need a knack to ask that one.
I felt very sheepish, having had a change of heart after flatly refusing you. And then, to make matters worse, you caught
Fair
me.
enough.
But in
I
any
also have
case,
social
it
anxiety.
sounds like the issue has already been resolved.
Yeah. When they said they were gonna ask for your help, I almost had a heart attack. I mean, how could we be worthy of having Lady Furina star in our show?
There's no need to think like that, and no need to keep addressing me as lady. Just Furina is fine. I was wondering, if this troupe is so important to all of you, why does it have to disband?
It's a good question.
If the difficulties are purely financial, then there must be a solution. You could put the shows on pause while you look for a sponsor, for instance. Everyone seems so devoted to the troupe. I'm sure if you keep chipping away, you'll find a way through.
We all want to believe that, but some things are just beyond our control.
No.
Everything's been going downhill ever since we lost our director. She
Oh,
was
they
the
lost
heart
the
and soul of
director.
our troupe. She kept us going.
So does Furina become the director?
Her name was O'Reilly, and she was the founder as well as the artistic director of our troupe. And tragically, she was a victim in a serial
Oh.
disappearances case.
What?
That's actually how I recognized these two. It was all thanks to their efforts that the true culprit was brought to justice.
That's interesting. So it's still relevant. Not just a thing that happened and it got forgotten about.
But still, no sentence can bring our director back to us.
She was a loyal fan of your performances, Miss Furina. They were what first inspired her to get into musical theater.
That's cool.
She rallied many people around her who were destitute or had lost their sense of purpose in life, and convinced them to join her troupe. She wrote her own scripts, acted on stage, and mentored each and every one of us. People loved
Is
our
hearing
performances
that's going to
back
be
then.
what makes Furina
They
change her
seemed to
mind.
be going from strength to strength.
Or maybe
Things
she
were
becomes
really
like the
looking up
director or
for
whatever
us.
and then doesn't have to actually act.
And disaster struck.
Yeah. After that, the entire troop fell into disarray. None of
That's
us know
sad.
anything about script writing, let alone how to handle the business side of things. We've been
That
doing the
explains
best
why
we
it's
can,
falling apart though.
but despite
Fucking
our
cool
efforts,
joke.
things are slowly but surely falling
Thank
apart.
you. Yeah, I mean, these aren't... I prefer the other glasses, but the other glasses keep moving further down my nose, and I have to push them back up, and it annoys me. So I'm wearing these ones right now. But I think I like
It's
them both, to be
agonizing,
fair.
But ultimately, we'd rather end things now on our own terms than stick it out to the bitter end and watch all our dreams turn to dust.
Oh.
What a terrible waste. A gifted artist from humble
Rainy gets run over by a horse
who
carriage,
achieved
brackets
so
spoilers.
much and no doubt had much more to give. And then her life
Well,
was
here's
so
the funny
cruelly
thing.
taken.
In the previous, like, the actual quest, kind of, it's hard to explain, she got the death sentence. So, you know, one up from that.
I suppose it's fair
yeah.
to say then that this final show, besides being your farewell to the stage, is also your final gift for her?
Yes, exactly.
Did she get hanged? No, because
We
it's
all miss her
France, it was a
terribly.
guillotine. But the guillotine didn't look like a guillotine, it looked like a really long sword thing.
Well, good thing I followed the traveler here.
And it was also like,
After hearing this tragic tale,
not real,
I
it
can
was
no
like,
longer stand by and do nothing.
in like some, like, mind realm or something, and then, like, she didn't actually die. But like, the god half of her got killed, and now she's just a human. I don't entirely understand how it worked, but it was pretty cool.
I know what you're thinking, but I by no means plan to cross the boundary I've set for myself. Besides, they're no longer looking for a replacement anyway. I can, however, provide some artistic guidance from the vantage point of a highly experienced audience member. But only if you feel this is something that would help, of course.
Oh, most definitely. We'll take any guidance that you can give.
We unfortunately
He is
don't have
guiding
any
the
budget for a
NPCs.
consultant, though.
That is
Will
crazy.
that be a problem?
I don't need any compensation. All I'd ask in return, if you're willing, is that you tell me some more about the life and work of your late director. Something I've begun to realize since my departure from the Opera Epiclese is that there's a lot you don't see when you observe everything from on high.
Oh my god, what the fuck? Why did the lights just all suddenly turn off
The
at
law
once?
only judges criminal behavior and does not
It's so
weigh
funny
human
when it
emotion.
changes from day to night
The
whilst
court's
a
verdict
conversation
can
like
settle
this
the
is
question of
happening.
criminal liability, but what about all the unresolved emotions of the parties involved? What happens to them?
Yes,
An interesting
Yes.
answer. But if you ask me, I think all emotion shall ultimately return home to the heart.
Kinda
and
cool.
slowly
Yeah, it was
settle
cool.
with the passage of time.
Doing behind the scenes stuff for game development from Boundary Break videos, it's pretty cool. Yeah, behind the
Take
scenes stuff of
pride
game
into
dev is always
how this
interesting.
troupe pines for their late director.
Boundary Break is a good channel.
Things such as this I have never witnessed before, and so I should like to observe, perchance to understand.
Still a fan of your old dramatic monologues then, huh? You just want to get
Real,
back in on
real
the
and
action,
true.
don't you?
Zone 5 was fun too. Yeah. Also true.
No. This is a completely different
That's why I like actually
situation.
doing the game development stuff, because
Pearls before swine.
I guess that's just another way of learning about it, but then also, like, implementing it too. Oh wait, her name is furina. Well, you know, it has na at the end, so, like, clearly that is a based name.
Would you be willing to join me? Come on, take a break from adventuring to listen to a story.
Yes, story.
Thank you all so much. Our director was a huge fan of Miss Freeman's
Very, yeah.
performances, as of course we all are.
That would be a terrible name.
All right, follow me. We'll go to our usual practice space. Please excuse the size. It's a little on the smaller side.
It's so funny, just like, when you have, like, a playable character on screen, and then also just the fucking NPC. Just the difference in quality. One of them looks actually nice and well designed, and then the other is just a fucking, like, looks the same as everyone else, except maybe he's, like, a bit bigger or smaller. Or his hair's, like, differently coloured or something. An end to the story. The main, like, quest line of the nation itself has ended. This is just Furina's story quest. Most characters get, like, a story quest, which is separate to the main overarching story. Like, where's the archive thingy? Travelogue? Yeah, so the actual, like, main quests are all of these ones. And then the story quests are all of these ones. There is a lot of story in this game. The game where the playable characters look like shit and the NPCs are complex. I would play that. Get the hell out of France right now. Oh yeah, so another funny thing about the story from the last stream. So basically, it turned out that all of the people in France were canonically not human, and they were like made out of water monsters. So that's a fun fact about Genshin. I like that one. What are we doing? Enter the rehearsal location. Incredible. Oh my god, they have a stage. That's incredible.
Huh? Lady Furina?
I don't know people. Why is Paimon a weird purple thing inside a bubble? That's a pet that they gave for the 3rd anniversary.
Hello all.
Paimon's there still,
Allow
see?
me to explain.
She's not there when
As
you're
of
playing the
today,
normal gameplay though,
Lady-
thankfully. And then I get the cool
Miss
octopus pet
Furina
instead.
will be supporting our production of the Little Oceanid in the role of artistic consultant.
When you go underwater, the octopus comes out of the bubble and is just swimming. It's very nice. Go back to being Joker Persona 5's cat. That's an interesting question. What's worse, Paimon or Morgana? I don't know the answer to that. That's a truly interesting question.
These two over here are the ones that made it possible.
Autistic
I reached out to Miss Furina
consultant.
on our behalf.
Oh my god.
I'm sure they need no introduction.
Yeah, Lady Furina, the autistic consultant for the musical troupe. You heard that too. Same VA. Wait, are they the same VA? I did not know that. The fuck? Furina VA. English. Amber Lee Connors. Oh yeah, I remember. Amber Lee Connors. I'm looking at IMDb. How do I filter it to be games only? I don't want to see just an endless list of animes because I don't know what any of that is. Look, IMDb, come on, please. Work, please. Oh my god. I'm on. No, oh, that's a good point. I don't know why the fuck I was searching for Furina. I really did not know that was the case, because I've known who Paimon's VA is for ages. Is that really true? See all, Control F, Persona. I don't see Persona 5 on the list. Do you mean the English VA or like Japanese or something? Or are you just making stuff up? You were wrong. Okay, okay. Yeah, I was confused there because Furina's VA I'm not familiar with because she's a new character, but Paimon's been in the game since the start, so I'm more familiar there, and I would be surprised if that was a fact and I didn't know it yet. Because when the VAs are in multiple games, and the games are ones I've played, I normally know that. Like, Ito and Ryuji, both Max Mittelman, and Venti and Anne, Erika Hallecker. I know those two. There's probably others that, like, my mind's blanking on. Anyway, the game is a thing. The game is a thing. That is so true. Yes,
You
Miss
bet.
Farina
That was
is
the
the
trial of the
autistic
century.
consultant or whatever the fuck you lot heard it as. Trial of
You
the
helped
century.
bring our director's murderer to justice. We can't thank you
You
enough.
gaslit yourself.
Oh,
Well, you
please
know,
don't mention it. We're just here to
here's the
join
funny
in
thing
the
with
fun.
Farina.
So, you were
Canonically,
saying
she
the little
gaslit the
Oceana?
entire country of France for 500 years. And that's basically like what her job was. I'm not even kidding. It's so funny.
Yeah, that's the name of our final show. It's an unfinished script left behind by our director. One of our greatest regrets is that she
So
never got to
funny.
complete it. So, if we
Yeah.
can bring it to the stage and make it a successful show, we can all take some solace in that.
Although it did also look very painful, like, it was like a form of torture for her or something. Having to pretend to be a god for an entire country for 500 whole years. That does not sound very fun. Yes.
Wait, but if it's not finished, then...
Finding an actress was the least of your problems.
Yeah, we've been battling issues on every front trying to realize this dream. Anyway, let me give you a quick summary of what the story's all about. The protagonist of the story is a young Oceanid who transforms herself into human form, despite the protests of her family.
My favorite thing about the YouTube chat is that I can't actually read the entire extent of the most recent message because there's a fucking emoji button that covers like the bottom right of the chat widget. So I can only see part of what's ever been said until another message gets sent.
She longed to live just like any other human. And sure enough, she found friendship.
Heart
and
emoji.
even
Yeah,
love.
literally.
Everything
why did they put it
seemed
there?
Perfect.
Why not just put it at the bar where you press the text? Yes,
But
the
one
Oceanid
day,
became the
her true
human.
identity was exposed,
But then she got
and her
exposed
world came
because she
crashing
was an
down around
imposter.
her.
My soundboard still doesn't work. Imagine I played the Among Us noise.
So far, so good. A classic tale. What happened after that?
You send an eggplant emoji. Can you not? I want to send an eggplant emoji and see if it works. Let me get an eggplant. Hey, let me send it.
That's one of the issues we've been trying to deal with. Unfortunately, this was as far as the director got with her script. We
Right.
need a proper ending so we can bring this musical to the stage. But people have different opinions on which direction to take it in.
Okay.
We still haven't decided between a happy ending or a true-to-life tragedy.
Happy ending or tragedy?
By true to life, you mean the director's sudden disappearance?
Can I give you my YouTube password? I mean, I could, but even if you tried logging in, it would just be like, press the number on your phone, and then yeah. It does that to me so many times, even though it's the computer I use every day. Why does it think I'm new? Why does it need me to press a number again? It does it every time, I swear to God, of your phone. I mean, I think that one's a bit trickier given the difference in geography. If that's all you want, I'm able to give access to different Google accounts to have different permissions on my channel. I can like allow people to be uploaders. That's the thing I can do.
Yeah, like they say, truth is stranger than fiction. But then there's the question of whether we really want to use the stage to pass our raw pain onto the audience.
Pain.
Exactly. A lot of the time, people
What
come
happened?
to watch a show just hoping for some light entertainment.
What happened where?
We
No
have
para?
to consider their emotional stake in this, not just our
Oh.
own.
Oh, that video. Still in the pipeline, technically. It just hasn't moved anywhere within that said pipeline in like fucking, I don't know, 5 months or something. I do want to do it. It's just like, uni work is just fucking endless. I swear to God. By the time I actually have the time to do it, it will have unironically been like over a year since the game released. And I feel like at that point, there's probably going to have been like 20 different people that have already made that video. But you know, maybe I'll still edit it and release it. Maybe I will. We will have to see. I have no clue what I'm going to do with YouTube when I actually have free time. I want to do something with it, I just don't know what. We'll have to see. Now it is just me, whenever Genshin Impact releases new content, I hit stream because I did it the last time and I don't want to like break the streak, you know? That's literally it. Entertainment.
And one last thing. We're still waiting on confirmation from 2 of our main actors.
Oh, so there's more actors
The
that they don't
first is
even know if they
Paulo,
have.
who plays the protagonist's lover. He's locked
Paulo.
himself away to focus on writing an ending for the script. But the deadline's passed, and we still haven't heard from him.
Well, if he locked himself away, then how's he gonna unlock himself? Maybe that's why you haven't heard from him.
The other is Villemont, who plays the main antagonist. He took the director's death pretty hard. Hasn't set foot in the city since.
The guy who plays the main antagonist has a name that sounds like villain, but like French. That is truly delightful. Well done, Genshin Impact.
He did write to us, promising that he'll be there for the final performance, but we haven't seen or heard from him since. So we're not really sure what to make of that.
Huh. Although, now that we have Miss Furina helping us, maybe we should take the opportunity to get everyone back together.
What opportunity? What do you mean?
Maybe you're unaware, but your name has always been like a rallying cry for us.
So their rallying cry is furina. That is a great rallying cry.
Our director was constantly singing your praises. All of us look up to you as a role model.
Oh, stop. You're making me all flustered. Although, not in a bad way. I suspect the reason they're dragging their feet is that they have their doubts about whether the show will really go ahead, considering all
Yeah,
the
that
issues
makes
you've been
sense.
facing.
My eyelashes have been fucking annoying me so much today.
But one by one, all the obstacles are being removed. Now is the time to rally the troops.
Oh my god, the fucking... my eyelashes. I swear to God, some days I just wake up and my eyelashes are glued together. I kid you not, and it's so annoying.
Makes sense. Okay, priority number 1, let's check in with Paulo and see where he's at with the ending.
Paulo.
He went back to Poisson a few days
Poisson.
ago. Said
Okay,
that
now that's
staying
another
at
funny
home
thing.
might help him to relax and
I don't
escape
know
the feeling of
French.
isolation.
But apparently Poisson just means fish. That's all it means, and that's the name of a fucking town in this game. So they named a town Fish. I cannot get over that.
I thought the last thing his friend would want right now would be to take visitors, given that Poisson was flooded not too long ago. But I guess it's the opposite. A friend in need and all that.
I promise I'll stop fiddling with my eyelashes.
Company.
Poisson?
Oh no, Furina became sad.
Nothing. I suppose my presence will be indispensable if we are to restore his faith in the show. So,
True.
allons-y. To Poisson!
Two fish. Whoa, look at this place. We can sit on a chair and then take a photo because this is probably the only time I'll be allowed inside this room. Can't allow the unique location to go to waste. Here we are, inside Fish. My favorite tone.
If I remember correctly, this is where he's staying.
Who is it?
It's me. Is the script ready?
You came all the way here for that?
Alright. Forget that for now. Just come on out. We've got some great news.
Uh-huh.
Nice try. Look, just give me some time, okay? I'm just wrapping up this last part of the script. I'll be out once I'm done.
Okay then. Looking forward to your masterpiece.
So, as expected, he's missed the deadline.
Me.
The ending is one of the most important parts of the show. Even once he's done, it isn't final until we've all had the chance to read through and make sure we agree on it.
Someone told me they just
Oh my
seemed
god,
more
Navia
precise.
is her.
I assumed it was a case of mistaken identity, but sure enough, here you are. And Furina, too.
I was wondering if we might run into her.
So, you're here for Palo? Looks like he could be a while, so feel free to take a stroll around town in the meantime. I've made all the arrangements already.
Oh, it's okay. We can just wait here.
Thank you for being so considerate, Miss Navia.
Takes him
That
away.
sounds wonderful. We'll take that stroll. Get over here, you! How oblivious are you?
How are things in Poisson now? Any better?
Things are on the mend, but it's a slow process. Some people may never recover from the trauma they experienced.
I'm sorry to hear that. I wish there was something I could do.
Please, must our conversations take such a depressing turn every time we meet? We all have painful memories, but we don't have to let them cloud everything we do.
That's so true.
And if you're trying to make a new start, perhaps it's best if you don't bring up the past all the time.
Thank you for your words of comfort. You make a very good point. But for now, at least, I think I should stay with the way I'm feeling for a while longer.
It's okay. These things take time. Moving on from a painful experience is easier said than done. Which brings me to why I'm here. I thought you should probably know that not everyone here is ready to forgive and forget after the Hydra
That makes
Archon's
sense.
inaction in the face of catastrophe. To avoid upsetting the peace, I told the townspeople that everyone here is a member of the theater troupe, and that you are just
Oh.
an actress playing the role of Furina.
Smart.
It's not a perfect solution, but hopefully it means you won't have to lie low while you're here.
That's so thoughtful of you, Navia.
Well, what do you expect? I am the courageous and considerate president of Spina di Rosula, after all, like my father before me. Anyway, that was all. Look after her now.
Got it.
Off we go then. Let's take a look up there. I don't have any friends that I can be frank and honest with, so maybe she's right. You're the closest thing to friends that I have.
Honestly, I feel bad for Furina. They're staring. Oh no.
I'm so grateful that Miss Navia was so understanding. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know if I was ready to meet her. It's always easiest to just run away from your problems. But that never fixes anything. You can't get around the obstacles without facing them.
So that's why you were nervous when they brought up Poisson.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared of coming back here. Still, I felt it was something I had to do. As I was saying before, I want to see for myself the things that I never could in the past. I'd be overjoyed if the people here could find it in their hearts to forgive me. But they're more likely to unleash a tirade of vitriol against me, Which, of course, I completely understand and accept.
Sure, some people didn't buy Navia's lie. Yeah.
Yeah.
The way they're
I can
angrily
tell people
staring.
watching me. I'm sure some people here see the idea of someone coming to Poisson dressed as the Hydro Archon as extremely disrespectful. I used to be terrified of the gaze of other people, especially when they had suspicion or resentment in their eyes.
Yeah.
I guess I wasn't quite ready for this after all.
I'm not surprised you're making yourself go through all of this.
Maybe you're taking on a bit too much, Among
I
Gal.
can't let myself see only the things I want to see. How would that make me any different from before?
Look! There seems to be a crowd gathering over there.
Not staying quiet
Probably
either.
time we made a move.
True.
How about we check out Spina di Rasula's ship? We should have a view of the whole of Poisson from there.
Uh-huh. You know, surely the NPCs can't follow us up the boat.
I'm sorry. You probably just wanted a relaxing stroll. And here I am dumping all this heavy stuff on you.
We don't mind. It's actually refreshing to see a different side of you.
Great. Well, I appreciate your company, so please don't disappear just yet.
Disappear. Oh my god, my favorite. Well, actually, no, it's not my favorite Zhao line. But it is still a Zhao line.
I don't know whether
Lament
you can
is my
tell,
favorite Zhao line.
but the years of suffering and loneliness aren't the only reason I have a hard time facing up to who I used to be. As I stand here by the ship, I can't get the images of the rising water out of my mind. One after another, people were taken by the water. All
Yeah.
those treasured lives and memories washed out of existence in an instant. They thought their god would protect them. They had absolute faith that when disaster struck, a divine power would save them from harm. And all the while, I played my part to perfection to convince them that was true. But then the floodwaters finally came, and the Hydro Archon did nothing.
You shouldn't look at it like that. You were only doing your duty.
Yeah.
I've had to go through so many moments like that for the sake of protecting the truth. As time went on, it got harder and harder to bear, and I became more lonely and isolated. Eventually, I realized I had nothing left except the truth. I became terrified of completely failing in my task, and was haunted by the thought of being left all alone, weeping on my throne. Fortunately, we were able to avoid the worst-case scenario thanks to the help of heroic individuals such as yourselves. Everyone rose to their responsibilities, and I finally regained my freedom. But on some level, freedom also means no longer being needed.
No, it
I
doesn't.
have no further use to people.
Paimon would have never imagined you'd see it that way.
Reward?
Yeah. True.
I guess so. Back then, I didn't even dare to dream about having someone to confide in. I was scared of someone recognizing me for who I truly was, and exposing the secret I swore to protect. Believe in the furina you see on stage. She is the one you can trust. I had to keep all my feelings, all my curiosity about life to myself. No one could be allowed to know. That's what I really meant. when I said I'm no good at maintaining relationships.
So that's where you were coming from. Paimon totally thought you were just a bit of a diva at heart.
Could you please get off my case? I don't know what's gotten into you today. I'm making an effort here. You could at least try.
I'm
to
on
do the same.
moment. She doesn't like to you down, true.
I do. I once had nothing but the truth, and now I'm finally free to live my own life again. And even though I have no idea where I'm going right now, at least the choice is in my hands. All right, it's about time to head back. Paulo should have finished the ending by now.
Sure. Okay, let's head back and check it out.
Uh-huh. I wonder if the mob of people will still be a factor, or if they've just dispersed now, because we went and stood on top of a boat. If that's how easily people would disperse, that would be kind of funny.
Didn't you say you needed to watch what you eat? You're supposed to be cutting down on fried foods, not wolfing down copious quantities of fish and chips, you know?
Come on. It's not every day we get to dine at Spina di Rosula's expense. Can you believe how generous she is? I'm not about to pass on free food. Anyway, my character doesn't need to be slim and good-looking.
Oh my god.
It's your job.
Are you kidding me right now? It's not your character's health I'm worried about, it's yours. I've spent my whole life battling the effects of ill health, and it kills me to watch you willingly ruin yours by filling yourself up with junk all the time.
Oh no, looks like they're arguing again. We're back! Could you maybe put your differences aside for a moment?
Ah, you're back. We've been enjoying Spina di Rosula's VIP treatment in your stead. Paulo's nearly done. We shouldn't have to wait too much longer.
Nice.
Right! So you were discussing your characters, right? We heard she's playing the Oceanid who turns into a human girl. What about you?
Me? I'm an Oceanid too.
Oh.
He was originally supposed to take the form of a crane, but he outgrew that role.
Oh
Well,
my
the
god.
costume at least. So now he's playing the boar instead.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
The boar's not a bad character, actually. He's the one who raises the little Oceanid, yes?
That's right. He has some pretty memorable lines too, like when he imparts some solemn words of wisdom to the little Oceanid. If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
You know, I wonder if that line is gonna be something that Furina thinks about,
Wait, that sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah.
It's the most important line in the whole script. I think it's a symbolic statement about our director's life and legacy. She kept quiet about all the trials and tribulations she faced in running our troupe, allowing us to devote ourselves fully to performing. It was only after she was gone that we realized how tough her job really was.
So the director, in a way, is like almost a mirror to Furina, maybe?
You mentioned earlier that the troupe is like your home.
Yeah. I was born with an incurable illness, and once my family found out it couldn't be treated, they decided they didn't want me anymore. I spent some years taking whatever work I could find and trying to manage my illness with various medicines. But whenever I had a bad flare-up, I'd be lying in an alleyway for days at a time. It was like that until the director found me one day. She told me I had a great voice and asked if I was interested in studying singing from her. I said yes.
Oh. Subscribe is just normal subscribe because it's YouTube. Yes. Okay, thank you for the subscribe.
She took me under her wing.
Why do
taught me
YouTube
to
and
both
Twitch use the
sing
same
and
word for different
act,
things? It's so
helped me find
confusing
more from
sometimes.
my meds, took care of me when my condition decided to flare up. I know it was all a huge burden on her.
She sounds like a really incredible person.
She really was. She gave
Mhm.
everything she had to her troupe and the people in it. All of us were so proud to call her our director. I was a lost child too when she found me. As the child of a murderer. My
Oh.
parents weren't around when I was little, so I got sent to an orphanage. The other kids were always picking fights with me. They'd say things like, "Come on, you must be pretty tough if you're the son of a murderer." It was just to
That
taunt me, though.
sucks.
I was an easy target, and they knew it. One day, I got beaten up so bad that I just couldn't take it anymore. So I ran away. I lost all faith in humanity by that point. Thought the whole world was out to get me.
Let me guess. Fortunately, the next person you ran into was the director.
Yeah. For
Uh-huh.
the first time in my life, I was somewhere I felt safe. And I promised myself I'd stay here until the day the group parted ways.
The day you hoped would never come.
Oh my god,
How times
Polo, he
change.
emerged.
Oh, you're finally done? Get your butt over here. There's someone I need to introduce you to. This is our new artistic consultant, Miss Furina.
Furina? The Furina? Oh my god, how did you manage
Don't
to
say it
wrangle
out
that?
loud.
Please, the honor is all mine. I was profoundly moved to hear about your troupe and your wonderful director. I just wanted to do something to help.
Same here.
Even so, this is just... Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I'll try to calm down. Now, where was I? Ah, yes, the script, of course. Let me give you a rundown of how the story unfolds in my version of the script.
Okay.
I'm sure you're already familiar with the beginning of the story. A little Oceanid decides she wants to become
Yeah.
She finds love and
Oh, a
friendship in
drawing.
a bustling city. But then, disaster strikes. The people start to
happens?
notice that all the fresh water in the surrounding area is slowly
Oh.
disappearing. The soil is becoming arid, plants and flowers are withering, and the people begin to panic. The little Oceanid, Cleo, and her lover decide to do something about it, and investigate the truth of the matter
Wait
together.
5 minutes. It's just so that I don't get any spoilers in the chat, that's it really.
In the end, they discover that all the waste and pollution created by humans over the years has caused the fresh water to flee the land, as if driven by a consciousness of its own.
I wonder if that's an allegory to
Consciousness?
global
You mean
warming or
the
something.
water is sentient?
Water as a conscious entity. There's actually quite a few stories that explore this theme.
Mm-hmm.
Since the little Oceanid is a water spirit, she immediately understands how the water is feeling. She then tells her lover about her true identity, as well as the truth behind the crisis. Her lover accepts her for who she is, and works with her to find a way to bring the water back. However, unbeknownst to them, there were some people eavesdropping when she revealed her secret.
Why do the lips stop moving in the middle of talking? Because the game is made in China. And then on top of that, after China, the next biggest region is probably Japan. And in both of those places, they don't speak English. In fact, they speak languages which are a bit quicker than English. So the mouths of the characters are animated but not English. And therefore they finish talking before the English voice finishes talking. It's not the best. They're animated properly in like the actual cutscenes. But in the random like dialogue scenes like this, that I guess they don't bother because it would cost too much to do that for every single scene. Which is fair enough, I guess. It is kind of weird. I kind of just like read the text instead of actually looking at their mouths, and then I don't have to see it. That's how I do it.
The little Oceanid is accused of being directly responsible for driving the water away, and faces the greatest dilemma of her life.
And then?
In the end, she makes the brave decision to sacrifice herself to save her lover, and the rest of humanity.
Huh? But didn't they all treat Cleo like a villain? Why would she want to save them after that?
No idea it was
Well,
made in
she
China.
mainly wanted to save her
Yeah,
lover,
it's
plus
really
everyone who
cool.
stood up for her.
It's nice seeing like culture from different places. Like, I mean, the game itself has different regions representing so many countries, but one of the regions does represent China, of course. And seeing the culture from that in particular is quite nice. It's not something that you see too much of, really, is it?
Through her love for her human partner, she was able to find an even greater love, one that extended to all of humanity. Surely the biggest strength of Cleo's character.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually something else that bothers me.
Oh.
You know the protagonist is supposed to represent the director, right? And she never had the chance to become a hero in our world. If we're serious about dedicating this show to her memory, we should make the ending as true to life as possible. What about if the little Oceanid is hounded to death by people who hate her, her lover makes sure her secret never gets out, and humanity continues down the path to extinction?
Yeah, that's a truly pleasant ending.
That sounds like too cruel of an ending to me. And perhaps a little irresponsible to present to the audience.
Sorry, Evan.
That ending would be a perfect mirror to Director Aureli's death, both arbitrary and meaningless. On the day when she went missing, Director Aureli had instructed us all, somewhat out of the blue, to leave the court of Fontaine and wait for her outside the city. We waited and waited at the rendezvous point, but she never came.
I wonder
By the
why.
time we returned to the city, she disappeared without a trace. We looked for her. The Gardamex looked for her, but she was nowhere to be found. Increasingly, all the signs seemed to point to her being the latest victim in the serial disappearances case.
The director was the kindest soul in the world, yet she was senselessly sacrificed for the sake of a so-called experiment by someone who had nothing to do with her at all.
But doesn't the way she suddenly told you to leave the city suggest that maybe she had some sense of what was about to happen? It almost
a good
seems
point.
as if she was moving you to safety.
I've been trying to follow up on that ever since, but all my efforts so far have turned up nothing. Villemont might know something, but he won't open up to me.
Villemont? The one who's playing the role of the villain?
Yeah. He's been overwhelmed by grief. I think the director's
A lot of
death hit him
chatter.
hardest of all.
Yeah, this is very much a story quest.
Grief? Guilt, more like. Also, I have a hard time imagining that anyone took it harder than me. Because, well, speaking of the play being true to life, I was deeply, madly in love with Aureli.
Oh.
What? You kept that one quiet.
Yeah, he did.
It's time to be upfront with you all. No more keeping secrets from each other. We'll never be able to agree on the ending if we can't be honest about how we feel. I did tell her how I felt once, but she turned me down pretty much straight away. She said that we were all like brothers and sisters to her, and she'd never considered us as potential romantic partners. Not that it came as a shock or anything. It was what I was expecting to hear. So I told her I'd always be there for the troupe, and I'd always be there for her. I said, maybe one day in the future, when everyone's settled into their own lives and on the up and up, and managing the troupe no longer required her constant attention, well, maybe then she could reconsider what she really wanted in her life. And now, that day will never come.
Rip Bozo.
Paulo.
Polo.
So if I'm the one writing this ending, then I'm gonna make sure it does right by Aureli. I won't let anyone get in the way of that.
In that case, you have to straighten things out with Villemont once and for all, face to face. We've all had our differences of opinion over the ending, but those two have never seen eye to eye on anything. One of them has to compromise if we're ever going to reach a final decision.
And we need to go talk to Villemont, then.
Well, if that's where we're at, looks like it's time to go visit Villemont.
Are you
They
ready
all
to
say his
face the
name
truth?
differently. Villemont? Villemont? Like, how... I don't think anyone knows how to pronounce it. I don't. I'm just copying what they say.
For the sake of our final performance, I'll do whatever it takes. Funny you should ask, though. You really do get what I'm going through right now.
I certainly do. Come on, everyone. Allons-y!
Okay. Where is Villemont, or however you say his name?
This is tough going. Delphi, are you sure you can manage in your condition?
So is he like in the middle of a
I
field?
could ask you the same question. Try to keep up.
Why are we here?
As if
Oh
this journey
no,
isn't tough enough
basic
already, is that,
enemies.
Brock?
Don't worry, we should all be fine with the traveler here. We don't need to take a detour.
Wait, actually, it will be a bit of a problem.
Why are you all looking at me? You're not seriously expecting me to fight, are you?
We're just curious, that's all. I don't think anyone's ever seen Furina in a fight before.
Yeah, but don't you remember why? The Hydro Archon willingly gave up all her power so it could be converted into Indemnitium.
And
As
what,
Furina said so
they think
herself.
she's still the Archon.
Precisely. And I'm not even the Hydro Archon anymore, so all my power is gone anyway. As much as it pains me, unfortunately, I should just stay put. I'm more like a damsel in distress more than anything.
That sounded so smug. Ugh, secondhand embarrassment is unbearable.
Hey, lay off, all right? My bluff is hanging from a thread here. I'm sorry.
Aw, too bad.
Sorry.
Okay,
Tilly.
yeah, let's fight the slimes. You see, it is actually like a slight problem because I only have Furina in my team and the Traveler, but Furina's Hydro and I can hardly like fight the water creatures with water. So let's just do this, I guess. The water ones are fine to be fair, it's the ice one that's a problem. A lot tankier due to its shield. Oh, I think I've almost broken the shield now though. I overestimated their strength. Now that the shield's down, I can do that too. There we go. Okay, that was... more! What the fuck? No! What the fuck? Heal. Heal. Ah. Shit. No! Why do I only play with the Traveler on the story quests? Why? Ah. Oh, Rainbow Rose. I'll take that. Oh, the water one's dead. The water one's dead. Okay, progress, progress, progress.
Strike a pose. Let my name echo in song.
Come on, you're going down. Okay, okay, we've got him, we've got him.
Bravo! Good show. You
We
certainly
did
lived up to
it.
your reputation.
We got through that.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, the path is cleared now, so onwards and upwards.
That was way harder than it had any right to be. Wait, no, no! I forgot that if you enter into those things, they just shoot you upwards. And then you're gone. Oh, it didn't take me too far. Thank goodness. I thought it was going to take me across the map and then I'd have to come back.
Vilma, are you there?
Huh? Oh, it's you guys.
He lives inside a
What's
tent.
Lady Furina doing here?
I can explain. We've been rounding up the whole troop. We now have everyone except you.
Mm-hmm.
So, you think knowing the truth about the director's disappearance will help you write an ending to the script that pleases everyone? I care just as much as everyone else about making the Little Oceanid a success. That's why I wanted to wait until after the show.
Oh.
If I open this can of worms now, I just don't want to make things difficult between us. We're supposed to be a unit when we're on stage.
Viamant, avoiding the truth will not help anyone. Unless you mean to suggest that Aurelie's death had something to do with you.
I don't want to talk about it.
Listen, Viamant. I used to think that my love for Aurelie was a point of shame. I never brought it up to anyone. But now, I've made up my mind to put it all on the table. I'm prepared to face everything, to sacrifice everything for the sake of the show. The little Oceanid cannot be complete unless we do justice to Aurelie on
Torture
an
the info
emotional
out of him.
level.
I think watching these NPCs is the torture for me.
This is why people think of you as not being the smart one.
I much prefer when the quests have the playable characters doing stuff rather than clone NPC number
As you
5063.
all know already, the troupe was kept afloat not from ticket sales, but donations from the audience. Of course, that was nowhere near enough. We took on side jobs when we weren't performing, but even then,
Right.
the troupe's financial situation was pretty dire. So, anyway, one day after a show, a merchant came to me and offered us a huge sponsorship.
Oh,
In return,
I
we
see where
just
that's
had to
going.
provide the audience with their drinks during performances. It seemed like a win-win, so I said yes to it on the spot without consulting the director. It was only when the merchant came to deliver the goods that I realized the drink in question was synth.
Drugs. I'm on acting surprised.
Isn't that the drink peddled by the culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
Yeah.
I freaked out when I saw the boxes, and I told the director everything right away. She was completely shocked as well, but she didn't reprimand me for making the decision without consulting her. Instead, she contacted the merchant and stated that the troupe could not agree to this collaboration. The merchant was furious, berated us for going back on our word, and threatened to sue us for damages. The amount was astronomical. There was no way we'd be able to pay.
And then?
I was going to sort it on my own, but the director stopped me. She said that this was an issue for the whole troupe and it wasn't my fault.
Oh.
But things only got worse from there. The synth merchant just wouldn't let up, and then suddenly the director told us all to leave the city one day. I knew then that things must have reached a boiling point. I admit this whole thing was my mistake. I didn't dare to tell any of you the truth back then, and after the director disappeared, I was even more afraid to say anything.
Brought the director to the attention of the synth dealers.
Yeah, I got Aurelie killed. There, I said it. Happy now?
Hey, don't say that.
You traitor! You knew Aurelie was in danger. Why in God's name didn't you tell us? What do you mean, you were afraid? This was a life and death situation. We could have saved her! How could you be so stupid?
Please, try not to get too worked up.
Yeah, listen to him. You need
Yeah.
to stay calm.
Stay calm? How can I stay calm? This guy got Aurelie murdered. She was the love of my life. And he has the gall to try and high-road us, claiming that he kept his mouth shut for the sake of the show. How about taking some responsibility for what he's done?
All I can say is I'm sorry. Truly. I wanted to apologize.
Why do I move so fast in the scenes? They do.
That won't bring
Finger
me
just
to the director.
instantly pointing.
What good is my apology now? I'm just a coward who made an awful, terrible mistake that I can never take back. Beat me up if you want. Kill me if you prefer. It's what I deserve. End my life. So I can meet the director and apologize to her in person.
Get out of my sight! Go! Get lost! I don't ever want to see your face again!
That's enough! You've screamed and shouted at each other for long enough. Now pipe down, both of you!
So true.
Can you stop conflating the show on stage with your real-life relationships in the troupe? You keep saying that you want to use this final performance to pay tribute to your director and celebrate her life. How can you do that if you're just using it as an excuse
Yeah,
to vent your
exactly.
own emotions?
Vent among us. But
You're
but
right.
true. Rena's exactly right there.
I'm sorry.
On stage, the lead role is the focal point of the audience's attention. And you're all used to seeing the director as the heart of the troupe. But in her own life, her greatest desire wasn't to be the center of attention. I can tell how much she loved you all, and how much she loved the troop. What she wanted was to build a warm home for all of her brothers and sisters. To shield you all from the storms that rage in the world outside.
True.
That's how you should remember her. And that's what you should be celebrating. I understand why you're trying to make her the hero of the story, but isn't she your hero already? After everything she did for you?
Yeah.
So think hard about what that means. And then think again about what you hope to achieve by arguing with each other. If you really hate each other and can't reconcile your differences, then you could just call it quits now. Why bother with the final performance if the group is already fractured?
True.
But you can't bring yourself to do that, can you? You care too much about Director O'Reilly and the home she built you all to let go. What are you laughing at? I don't see what's so funny.
Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. It's just that, for a moment there,
Yeah, like I
it
said,
felt like our director was back with us again.
the director mirrors Furina to an extent.
If she'd seen Paulo and Vilmont at each other's throats like that, she would have scolded them exactly like you did, in that same stern voice.
Really? But she sounded like such a gentle person.
Of course she was. Even her harshest lectures came from a place of kindness, and it showed. She really was a truly outstanding person.
Uh-huh.
What you said, it really puts everything into perspective.
I'm truly sorry. I really meant for this to be a genuine apology, but I ended up making it all about me and my self-pity.
Paimon's gone over Master Sword.
It's all right.
Does it?
Let's save all this for after the performance.
Let me see Paimon's crown.
The ending. What are we gonna do about
You
it?
can kind of see that. Quite small on
Clearly,
screen right now.
everyone needs to
I want to
take
get a
step
good
back
clear
for
shot
now
of
and
it,
reflect
where
on
it's
what
not
really
sideways.
matters. When emotions are running high, things get lost in the fray.
True.
The end of the story needs to focus back on O'Reilly herself. She's the true star of the show.
Might be possible to find out more about her fate.
What do you mean?
No.
The Traveler is right. You once investigated that underwater synth base and
True.
recovered items belonging to the victims. If you could find anything that O'Reilly left behind, perhaps we can get a better sense of what she went through in her final days.
You really think that's possible?
I trust that nobody would object to the ending of the story being based on O'Reilly's true feelings.
No.
Well, we'll leave this in your capable hands.
Okay.
Come, let's pay a visit to the Palais Mermonia. The rest of you, head back to the rehearsal location for now, and wait for our good news.
Paimon. Thing on her head. Oh, that does kind of look like the Master Sword, you're right. Though I guess it's got like a thing in the middle that the Master Sword doesn't have. Yeah, the hilt kind of bit on it definitely does have the same sort of vibe there. That's interesting. A little detail. I doubt it's intentional, to be honest, but nice little similarity. Let's find the former belongings in the Palais Mermonia.
You want to review some recovered items connected to victims of the serial disappearances case? But, that case has been closed for quite a while now.
Yeah.
Still, since you were the ones who discovered and submitted the evidence in the first place,
Oh,
you don't
nice.
actually have to submit an application.
We just get to go look at
Okay,
it.
please hold on. I'll have someone dig them out.
So, this is all O'Reilly left behind. Just whatever she was carrying on her person and this tattered old notebook.
Hey! It's full of script lines! And sketches too! Looks like they show where the different props should be placed on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Let me take a look. Maybe there's something in here from after she was kidnapped. Aha! I found something. To whoever discovers this diary. Let's see. Looks like she kept a detailed record of her
Oh.
captor's actions. She even mentions the truth behind the experiments on dissolving young women. If we'd had the chance to examine this notebook carefully back then, it would have been a conclusive piece of evidence proving Vacher's guilt.
We proved his guilt anyway, though.
Vacher took so many lives. It's still so
Yeah.
unthinkable how many victims he had.
I guess Aurelie must have written all of this down in the hope that her records would one day be of use to investigators. Wait, it cuts off.
Oh.
Her handwriting here gets patchier and more illegible by the line. She
Aww.
probably didn't have much strength left. Her final words are... I'll let you read them for yourselves.
What are they? Someone else was taken, that makes 6. Or perhaps the 7th. Someone tried to escape yesterday but was caught. She hasn't been seen since. Was that yesterday? Maybe not. I've long lost track of time. Sorry, I don't know if writing this is of any use or how much longer I can do it for. I can already see my fate approaching, but what terrifies me even more is the thought of seeing others from the troop here. Have I truly protected them? Sorry, I'm so sorry. I can write no more. I think I have a fever, and my old stomach troubles have returned, but nobody has given me any medicine. I suppose I'm more fortunate than Crazy. Pain keeps her awake all night. Suppose they think that anything goes, so long as the experimental subjects can be used up before they die. It's so damp here. I've given her my blanket. So cold, so cold, so cold. As long as one persists, all things will pass. There'll be a reward for hard work. I like to tell him such things. It is I who am losing my grip. If anyone sees this, group safe, I, them, important. Please, farewell, apologize. Life, perform, future, regret, Leo. Page is an absolute mess and the pen seems to have wandered its surface at random. The diary stops, replaced with lyrics from musicals. Mm-hmm.
She was so terrified.
Yeah, that's horrible.
She may have been a mighty hero in the eyes of her troop, but at the end of the day, she was only human. I can't bear to think how painful and lonely her final days must have been.
Yeah.
Wait. This part on the last page sounds strangely familiar.
Oh. Two new lines, more legible. But it took her a lot of effort and time to write. If you can become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is truly what you want? Because I'm an older sister to them, I love them.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this still what you want?
Isn't that the most important line in the Little Oceanid?
Because I am an older sister to them.
Oh.
So she didn't regret her decision. Even as she sat in silence, waiting for death to come. I'm sure this is what the troop would have hoped to hear as well. She had their utmost trust, admiration, and love, and she truly deserved it. Let's go. It's time for them to learn Director Aurelie's final thoughts.
Where are we going now? Back to the building where the stage is, I think. Was this it? I think it might have been. Yeah. A must have
She
been a tough
deserves
notebook to
hero's
read.
farewell. If that's the only way to convey to the audience the courage and selflessness that she showed in the face of death, then it's a meaningful way to end the story.
Even in the last moments of her life, she was still leaving a trail for others to follow.
She did her best to protect as many people as possible, even if it meant
Yeah.
sacrificing herself.
Dead.
We know what choice our little Oceanid would have made now. I don't think any more discussion is necessary. Well, Vilmont, if we put the past aside for now, do you think you can bring yourself to go ahead with the show?
I will channel all my regret and put it into my performance to make this a show worthy of our director.
That's nice.
I won't ask for your forgiveness, and you don't need to worry about my feelings. This final farewell show should be about Director Aurelie and her alone.
Then it seems like we've reached a consensus. I have a feeling that this will turn out to be the most mesmerizing performance of your lives.
Really? How can you be so sure when you've never even seen them perform before?
Don't underestimate my experience.
True.
After watching a
He is 500 years old.
I've learned
You must have seen a lot of them.
If you want to move the audience with your music, you must fully commit and immerse yourself in your role, pouring all your emotion into your performance. And aren't human
Well,
emotions
they definitely will have their
love,
emotions.
hate, regret, and hope just the most mesmerizing things in this world? I don't believe anybody could be more committed to bringing this story to life on the stage than they are now.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Miss Furina. And thank you for supporting us through all this.
I am tired.
Then, let's not delay things any longer. We need to discuss the details of the ending and get it nailed down once and for all.
Bro.
Actually, before
Oh?
that, I'd like to make a proposal. During the curtain call, please allow me to use the director's name instead of my own.
Huh? But then...
After all, this role was originally meant to be played by the director. I'm
Really?
just filling in for her. Besides, a role commemorating her life should be associated with her name.
Well, if you're sure you're okay with that, I have no objection to it.
Now we're talking like a serious acting troupe. All right, I'll leave you to fine-tune your musical while I go and procure a stage.
Procure a stage?
Oh, it's okay. Our usual place doesn't need a reservation.
That place? Oh, don't be silly. For an extraordinary show, we need an extraordinary stage. By which I, of course, mean the Opera Epiclese.
Of course.
Whoa, wait, what?
No. That's never going to work. It's far too fancy for the likes of us.
What are you afraid of? Surely you don't think that Aurelie's story is unworthy of the
Exactly.
grandest stage in Fontaine.
No, though that's not what I meant.
It is supposed to be your grand finale, right?
Go big or go home. True.
I have no problem with it then. How about the rest of you? I'll take your silence as a yes. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. It really is a dream come true.
Well, then don't disappoint me. If you mess this up, it'll reflect poorly on me too. Come on, we'll need to get the go-ahead from Neuvillette. I
Oh
know
my god,
just where to
Neuvillette.
find him.
He's in this quest? Let's go. He's in every quest. He's the best. Where is he? He's not in the Palais Mammonia. He's nearby. Ah, he's just standing there.
Hey, look at that! Looks like I guessed right.
You were
Hello,
just
Neuvillette.
guessing?
I knew you'd be here.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss Furina. And you too, traveler in Paimon. What might I assist you with today?
Neuvillette, he is the best character.
I would like
Amazing.
to book the Opera Epiclese for an event. You see...
I understand. The process for booking the Opera Epiclese is complex and can be somewhat cumbersome. But given that the request is coming from the three of you,
Thank you,
I
Neverlet.
see no reason to make things unduly difficult. The story of the little Oceanid is most fascinating. I'm looking forward to seeing it performed.
Oh my
on
god,
stage.
he's gonna be there too.
I will
Let's
say,
go.
however, that I am surprised to see your passion for the performing arts rekindled after all that has happened.
Huh? What do you mean? Do I look excited?
Yes. And this is the first time that I've seen you like this since your departure from deityhood.
At first, I just felt bad about rejecting them. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about their situation. But one thing led to another, and... well, here we are. In the past, we sat in our high chairs in the court, giving our opinions on isolated cases, all while knowing very little about the human stories behind each and every one. Maybe it's because I finally become an ordinary person and gained my freedom, but I've developed a great sense of curiosity about their lives.
Makes sense.
I am truly delighted to see you find a new lease on life. Now that you've regained some confidence, have you had any thoughts regarding a return to the stage?
Why would you suddenly ask a question like that?
Well, if the Little Oceanid turns out to be a great success, it will no doubt become a classic. Many theater companies are certain to add it to their repertoire. The experiences and decisions of the protagonist Cleo are all modeled after your own. Naturally, this makes you eminently suited to playing the leading role. It would truly be a shame if you did not take this opportunity to allow audiences to enjoy your outstanding acting talents once more.
Haven't I already made myself clear? I won't act or perform in any role ever again. No exceptions. Nor do I think it is any great shame. There is no lack of fine actors or inspirational stories, either on or off the stage. This experience is a case in point. I feel like I've learned a lot, and it has already been well worth the price of admission. I must admit, though, I'm a little envious. They're quite fortunate to be able to bid farewell to their past in such a magnificent manner.
I see. Well, I'm glad to learn that you have found a role to play that you enjoy, be it on the stage or not.
Yeah.
I sincerely hope the show will serve as the grandest of finales. I will have my staff book the date and mail the relevant paperwork to the troupe once the details are confirmed.
Thank you, Neverlet.
Thanks, Nervalet.
You are very welcome.
Best character. Let's go back and let them know.
Good news, everyone. It's done. The Opera Epiclese is booked. Thanks to my eloquent and impassioned speech, Monsieur Neuvillette was moved to provide us with a fitting stage for this special performance. We've had to fight every step of the way for this opportunity, but we now have all of the ingredients necessary to stage a truly spectacular performance. A touching story, a magnificent venue, and last but not least, a passionate and dedicated cast. Now, let's work together and make this show the best it can be.
This is truly wonderful.
The sooner we can finalize the ending, the more time we'll have to rehearse. Fiamma and I just went over some parts of the script and tweaked a few things. I think it's really going to resonate with the audience now.
Wow, you two had a constructive conversation? That's great!
It is.
Communication is vital to any good performance.
Look at us. We've come so far. I never could have pictured this scene a few days ago.
It's amazing. Even though Furina's still being a bit of a drama queen about it all, she's really fired everyone up.
Looking forward to the final production.
Please feel free to give us any comments or suggestions you have. We really value your input.
Hey, Loic, get over here. Time to practice the opening number.
Oh. Arena pointing at them. So true. Now they're hugging. Furina talking to Paimon.
Accursed Cleo. She
Oh,
stole the waters of
we're
life
in the
from
real
us.
thing.
She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
This has nothing to do with her. The ignorance and hatred of our people is to blame. How can we hope to win back the water's favor if we don't change our ways?
This guy could be useful. Take him hostage. If Cleo wants him back, she'll have to show herself.
Oh no.
Leave this place, O little Oceanid, and never, ever look back!
I like how the water fountain on stage is like a prop and the water's not actually moving.
Everyone's really throwing themselves into their roles. I haven't seen such a fine performance in a long time. If only...
What should we do? It's almost time for her to take the stage!
Why?
Oh no, she's
Why
ill.
does it have to be now?
Hey, what's going on? You're due on stage in a
I
second
bet
now.
Furina's gonna do it instead because she's ill.
Oh no, not again. But why? What about your new meds? Did they stop working?
They've been getting less and less effective over time. I've had to keep increasing my dose.
What? I thought they cure it. So they were only managing your symptoms?
I figured whatever it took to get me through this final performance.
How could you do this to yourself?
Oh.
And after that lecture you gave me about not looking after my health.
I'm sorry. I've let everyone down.
You... This is a conversation for another time. How can the show go on without its star performer?
Miss Furina?
Yeah, I
I'd
knew
like
it.
to make a request of
Although
you.
it is kind of obvious this was gonna happen.
Say no more. If you're sick, you need to rest. I know what you're going to ask. Loic, your character has no more scenes, correct?
Oh, yeah. I think my scenes are all done. Although, I do have one more line. But I guess another guy in the troupe with a similar voice register could take it. Why?
Please take Delphi back to her place to rest. I'll sing the finale. From the sublime to the ridiculous. After all that, everything's come full circle.
Thank you, Miss Furina. I'm so sorry to put you in this position after everything you said.
Never mind. What's done is done. It's really my own fault for getting in too deep. No one likes regrets, myself included.
True.
Leave it to me. I've watched you rehearse so many times that I've learned Cleo's part by heart.
I do not doubt your acting skills, but
Oh.
please allow me to ask just one more question. After all, this show is dedicated to the life and legacy of our director. What, in your opinion, is the reason Cleo shines so brightly?
Oh.
It's her pure heart. Despite all the pain and loneliness she had to endure, she never once stopped believing in the beauty in this world.
Well said. I
True.
leave Director O'Reilly in your hands.
Oh boy. See this then. Cutscene? Cutscene? Please? Yes, a cutscene. Ooh, it's an animated one.
Is she here yet? Must she get here?
She's not coming!
You're wrong. She's here.
This is so pretty. Oh, she's singing in French? This is so pretty. Look at that. Look at this.
About your wish.
My wish.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Look at that. No. Vision. Is that how she gets her vision? Traveler is on stage too. I'm not sure what role we played, but...
Who was that Lady Furina on the stage just now?
Are you blind?
She hasn't been seen for a while now, and she just appears out of nowhere? Gotta say, though, her acting skills are as superb as ever.
The little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
Wait, that's not her name. What's going on?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a doppelganger.
A doppelganger.
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight, and they didn't use my name during the curtain call either. Hopefully, not too many people.
What does she mean, hopefully not too many people recognize her? Of course they're gonna recognize her.
It's too bad that I had to break the one clear rule I'd managed to make for myself, even if I had no choice. Still,
Yeah, she has a vision now.
Despite everything, it felt good to be back on the stage again.
Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant
Well.
and event coordinator, Miss Furina.
There goes the part about not saying her name.
Hey, that's not what we agreed on.
Oh, so it was Furina after all.
She's back!
Honestly, what is he doing? He should have run that by me first.
All right, calm down. Don't be mad. This was a group decision. We just didn't want your contributions to go unacknowledged. After all, it's been the rule in Fontaine since ancient times that everyone's work, visible or invisible, is equally deserving of recognition.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know the rule, but it should still be applied on a case-by-case basis. I wasn't ready for this yet.
It's no big deal. What's the worst that could happen?
At most, you might be asked to send a few autographs later.
Oh, yeah? Well, since you think it's so easy, you can sign them for me.
Yeah, we can do that.
It's a great chat and all, but can we talk about that crazy thing that happened during the show? It nearly gave Paimon a heart attack. Paimon flew over to where she was supposed to be and was about to drop the prop vision, and then suddenly...
Wait, so... there was meant to be a vision in the play. It just was a real one when it wasn't meant to be.
Oh, that... I've got no idea what happened there either. But hey, it worked pretty well, didn't it? I'll bet the audience has never seen such a realistic prop.
Wait, what about Dolphy? I wonder how she's doing.
Oh, let's go check on her as soon as we finish clearing the stage.
Yes.
Bro.
Plus, she'll definitely want to hear how the end of the show went. If nothing else, we can safely say that we accomplished what we set out to do.
I think that was a very good end to the show. The animation was so fucking pretty. I loved that.
Did anyone see where Miss Furina went? Oh, I want to get her autograph, but I can't find her anywhere.
Oh no. Prison break for Furina. Leave the room before they try to get her autograph.
Ah, you're back.
Hello.
She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her original medication. From experience, though, I'd say she still needs a few more days of rest.
How did the performance go? Was it a success? Did the audience like it?
You'll be glad to know it was fantastic! So you're not gonna believe what happened while Furina was on the stage. You'll probably be able to read all about it in the Steambird first thing tomorrow morning.
That's wonderful. I'm so sorry I failed to see it through to the end. I guess I was wrong to try and tough it out to begin with.
Oh, don't worry about it. Like they told me after announcing my name during the curtain call, everyone's work deserves recognition. Even though you couldn't see it through to the final scene, the audience was very impressed by your performance. It's safe to say that you made your mark on this memorial show.
Well, one way or another, we did it.
Yeah.
I've had bad luck ever since I was born, so I never expect things to go smoothly in life. I'm just happy to know that we went out on a high note. That's all that matters.
Blaming your bad luck again, are we? Maybe if you didn't push yourself past your limits so much, your illness wouldn't be flaring up all the time.
Oh, don't you start.
Nah.
I don't have the energy to argue with you right now.
Aw, you two clearly care a lot about each other.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean we never stop arguing with each other?
And they facepalm. Even Paimon's not impressed.
Any plans for the next step? After the brilliant performance you put on, the reputation of your troupe is sure to spread through Fontaine like wildfire. You won't have to disband if you don't want to. You could capitalize on the rave reviews and license out the Little Oceanid to the bigger theater troupes out there. That would do wonders for your financial situation.
No, we should still disband.
Yeah, it's what we all agreed
Fair
to.
enough.
After all that's happened, I should give you guys some space. But maybe our paths will cross again one day.
Hey, don't just walk off!
Well, away he goes. He's just gone.
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe. After watching Miss Furina's performance, I think I'm starting to understand our director's infatuation with musicals.
You should do it. It suits you. I'd originally hoped to keep performing too, but I don't know if my health will allow me to.
Oh, so now you finally got your priorities in order. I guess I'll hold off until you've properly recovered as well. What about you, Miss Furina? Any future plans?
Well, frankly, I think a return to obscurity is no longer an option for me. I'm sure a slew of consultancy requests will hound me wherever I go, until I finally acquiesce. You rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks at the end of the show.
Sorry.
It's quite all right. No need to apologize. What I meant to say is that this whole experience has shown me that perhaps I'm not as averse to a return to the stage as I previously imagined. maybe Nervilette was right. Maybe Cleo is the right role for me. I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else, but I do have a desire to express myself. So, maybe the show will go on for me after all.
That's good. Figuring out what you want in life is important. No need to draw lines in the sand. True.
Yeah. There was once a time when I was an actress in a masquerade, seeking only to hide the truth. But from now on, I want to spend my time learning real stories about real people and how they touch the lives of others around them. I want to watch them blossom and wither, see them refined on the page, retold on the stage, and remembered long into the future.
That's nice.
I'm sure this is what captivated director O'Reilly as well.
Sounds like you're ready to stop running from your true calling. The more you get out into the world, the more you'll discover what a fascinating place it is.
True.
Then it's a deal. If a vision is a gift from the gods, then I should do my best to honor it.
That was a nice little story quest. The only combat in it was quite literally fighting slimes. I don't even mind that. I think it was nice.
It's ironic to think that in my whole time as a god, I could only ever dream
That's
of
true.
this kind of power.
Whilst she was the Hydro Archon, she had no power. Now that she's a human, she has elemental hydro powers.
And now that the gods have given me their blessing, it actually feels more like I'm finally able to take my fate in my own hands. Is that how humans feel about it as well?
That's nice. I think that was a good story quest. I quite liked it. It's been exactly 2 hours actually with stream now. Not bad, not the longest. Not as long as last night. I was so tired after last night. Well, I really need the toilet, so I'm not gonna leave it any longer. I am just gonna disappear. Disappear, oh my god, Zhao reference.